Good afternoon. Ricardo here again. Another video, another beautiful day, another day to be thankful about stuff, another day to be alive, another day to just kind of like live your truth or whatnot. I think about a week ago, it was my first video, posted it and whatnot. I wasn't looking necessarily for anything. Today, just kind of went through my social media and I got some really good comments and stuff like that, so I'm extremely grateful and happy about that. Yeah, that's really good to hear when somebody kind of, when someone really understands where you're coming from idea-wise, so that's definitely gonna propel me to keep going forward and making videos just like this one. So today, let me see. Today, definitely editing that out. Today's entry is from August 25th, 2019. And for those of you who don't know, this is my journal. And let me see if I can get a nice close-up with this right here. So today we're gonna be reviewing that one. It's so weird because, there are certain times where I'm like trying to read my own stuff and I can't because my writing is so sloppy. My writing is really sloppy. My writing is sloppy, and I apologize if I've ever put my journal entry up close to the camera and you can't read it. I apologize for that. Even though I do try to excuse me, even though I do try to write regular, write slow, write, proper, I don't know, I guess I just got fast thoughts. So yeah, so yeah, let's see what we got. All right, so today I'm just gonna be reading it from my phone today. I think that's better. So yeah, so today's journal entry is from August 25th, 2019. Today got off to a great start and one I cannot complain with. This is also the second day where I didn't start the day off without doing anything. Don't get me wrong, it's cool to be able to do that every now and then, but life will teach you that there are more important things to do and experience. Rightfully so. I mean, I don't know, what can I say? I don't know. I just feel like sometimes, especially with me, like I will start to have like a negative type of response, like physically, when I feel like I'm probably like trying to tell myself that I probably won't do anything the next day, or sometimes I may wake up without not having a to-do list, and then I don't know where to start. It's overwhelming, and sometimes I get caught in that. I definitely get caught in that. And it does beg the question though sometimes, like, how do you fix it? And it's easily fixable, and I can tell you how. And it's so easily fixable that I never really thought that it would be this easy. The only thing is, well, this is what I do for me. What I do is I simply ask myself, like, okay, Ricardo, what is the most important thing you need to do first? And then from there, I usually just work my way back. So usually I'll take the most important thing and just do that one first, the most important thing. And then I guess, if you're okay with just getting that done, you could not do anything else. But I definitely advise you not to do that. I don't think that's smart, but you're different from me and I'm different from you, so I'm just telling you like some of the things that I go through. So yeah. As of now, I just come from Staples to get my copies for my side hustle. the more I wonder about a job, the more my mind goes against the idea full time anyway. While I was writing a prompt from a website, however, I heard a woman speaking on a topic I'm so passionate about, self. Here's clarification. Doing for self is what I'm passionate about. Man, as soon as I could, I chimed in. I chimed in so much so that the lady, who was being spoken to by the guy walked off because me and the other woman took over the conversation. So yeah, I had a great time speaking with her. I really can't tell you what the conversation's about, but I do kind of remember almost like having that conversation being one-sided. Yeah, and I had to apologize with her, but I guess she was like a teacher or whatnot, so she was used to listening to other people. So yeah, whoever you are, lady, thanks again. But the self part. So there was a time, there still is a time in my life where I'm so passionate about this, and I just feel like, you know, whatever you want to do, I just feel like you should just take your hands and just kind of dig into it, you know, because I mean, who knows how things are gonna shake out, you know? I don't think it would be pretty to have that type of information anyway. And what I mean is having, information as far as like what's gonna happen to you in your life or whatnot. Are you gonna get married? Are you gonna get the lottery? I feel like you should just live it. Just be in it and live it. Just live it and be in it as much as possible. So as far as like with the do for self, um, taking into consideration of my passage, I was reading like these articles and stuff like that, listening a couple TED Talks or whatnot, and it really got me thinking, like, what can I do for me? Why should I subject myself to something just because I've seen other people do that and they are successful in their own right? But I'm saying for me, what can I consciously do? What can I consciously gravitate towards that's gonna help me out the long run? What am I gonna do for me that when I wake up, I can say, I'm looking forward to the day. I'm looking forward to getting out of bed. I understand there's a lot of people that don't get to have that luxury. And I do understand that there's a lot of people who don't get to have the luxury of actually trying to achieve that for themselves as well. So yeah, definitely a lot to think about. Okay, let's see. Minus my overthinking, I'm going to start my Facebook ad campaign on Monday. This is the initial run, being that this is my very first time doing this without help. So with my garage cleaning business about a year ago, just exactly like I just got through saying, like I just dived into it. I really just, kind of maybe read some articles. I mean, I wasn't really that stupid just to kind of just do without, just kind of getting in it without having any type of baseline knowledge. But I did run a couple campaigns. I ran 2 campaigns, and as you guys can probably guess, they really wasn't that successful. But I did learn, things about, the word count and the copy that you need to write, and the thumbnail and all that type of things that kind of goes into it. You see, I can hardly remember some of the terms. Been so long. So yeah. So today was my very first day of me using writing prompts. Not surprised that it was easy to get in the zone. People seldom master anything because of the repetitions. I read that somewhere. I can't remember where I read that, but when you think about it, it really stuck with me, because when you think about it, that's the reason why a lot of people get tired of doing stuff, is because the repetitions, like over and over and over and over again. I can't speak for anybody, but when I tell you that I get bored of doing the repetitions, I'm here to tell you, you're not the only one if you think that, doing it over and over and over again is boring. Sometimes you don't even want to do anything. You get up and you're like, whether you play basketball or dance or golf, you're working on that swing or that jump shot. Some days you're going to be like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Some days you're going to wake up and you're like, oh my God, like this is scary. Like I had one of those days today. I'm not just saying that. Like I really was just, I didn't make a to-do list the night before. Usually those are the mediators. Those are the X factors, I like to call, because they really kind of gauge which way you go, you know. But I didn't know what I was gonna do. But I just caught myself getting up, seeing that it was Sunday, and it was time for me to, you know, do what I know I had to do for self. So yeah, I think that's very important. So as far as the repetitions that I'm speaking about, for a long time now, I've had a hobby of writing short stories. That's something I'm still working on. That's definitely a challenge. Try writing a short story. I thought it was easy. I really thought it was easy. For those of you out there who've tried or who do that, I really commend you. It's definitely a job. Putting in the repetitions, as far as, you know, it could be a multitude of things. Okay, I don't like this line. This line could be rewritten. Or you could be stuck on one line for so long because you're falling in love with different versions of how the sentence shakes out. You see, you can just get caught up in the whole overthinking about it. But those are the repetitions that are necessary to get to where I want to get with this, which is to hopefully be published sooner rather than later. But yeah, so let's see here. My biggest fear on this writing is how I can separate myself from others. So it pretty much goes into what I just said, pretty much. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary. It's scary because you know that the days that you don't put in the work, the days that you don't do what you're supposed to do, those are the days you kind of count yourself out. Those are the days you kind of just like kind of hit the snooze button on the day. Those are the days where you just lose. You just lose those days. You're not, I mean, I'm not a robot, you know. Humans aren't robots. Of course, there are going to be days where you feel like you need a break. Take the break. I'm not saying don't, you know, but when you, I mean, you can't fool yourself. I mean, when you wake up and it's been like 3 or 4 days and you haven't been practicing those, whatever it may be, you haven't been practicing that line of code, or you haven't been practicing your piano or whatever, and you know to yourself when you wake up, you need to do that, and you don't do that, then that's your fault. That's something I can't do anything about that. There's like a road you go down, you know. Before you make these type of decisions, you have like this inner dialogue with yourself. So it's like, I've had those talks with myself. So I know that whatever the case may be, I know that if I don't meet ass to chair, like within like the first hour of me getting up, I know what's gonna happen. And you don't want to accumulate those days of not doing anything. I'm sorry, it just doesn't feel good. Let me see, I lost my place. So for sure, there's a need to create shit. This is just who I am as a person. And that's pretty self-explanatory. I mean, I've done things, I mean, for people that are creative, I mean, where do you even start? I mean, fuck. I mean, you have so many interests. I don't know if I was supposed to let that F word slip. Probably gonna edit that, but I don't know. Like, you kind of just like have all these interests, and then you narrow them down to a couple, and then you're like, okay, then it's all an elimination process, you know. But once you do find out what you want to do, you know, and you find out what entails it, that usually makes or breaks, you know, makes it or breaks it. But there's another thing that I caught myself like really thinking about recently. I mean, you know, sometimes, you know, we see stuff on TV or like social media or whatever, and it's like, wow, it'd be cool to like, you know, be good at that. But you know, when you think about it, we don't get to choose what we're good at. So it's like, it's funny because it's like You know, I've read interviews where people, they're like, oh yeah, like, you know, they were good at playing the trumpet, but they wanted to play basketball. So it was like they had no natural talent to play basketball or sports at all. So it was like I kind of had like a time where I knew that I wanted to do something that was really detail oriented and creative. So it was like when I arrived at the decision to like be like a writer or whatever, I'm like, 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 like out of all type of like creative endeavors, like you're gonna pick to be a writer. Like, I told myself like, okay, I guess that's cool, but like in a grand scheme of things, like I'm not gonna get down on myself for having the interests I do have, you know. So I just thought that was an interesting sentiment that I came across. So that is it. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching. If you did watch, if you didn't watch, hopefully you will soon. Let me know in the comments what you think. If you had some struggle with some of these things that I've covered in my second journal entry, just let me know. I hope everybody stays safe, stays blessed, and have a good one. Peace.